Welcome back to another edition of Health Hack. I am Melissa Deely, your host, and this week I want to be talking to you about hormones. And today I want to start with estrogen and why it's so important. So I'm sure all women listening know they have estrogen in their body. Men have estrogen in their body as well, just to a lesser degree. And it's very important in our body for a number of things, for sexual desire, but also brain function and bone health and skin health and lipid metabolism. So your body's ability to metabolize fats, as well as in men, erectile function. And you may not have ever realized that. And it's something to be aware of because as we age and our estrogen levels naturally decline, we want to be aware of this because we need to be ensuring that we're balancing our estrogen levels in our body in order to continue to be able to support our brain function, our bone health, our skin health, etc. So there's actually three types of estrogen. There's estradiol, which is the most common type in women of childbearing age. And then there's estriol, which is the main estrogen produced during pregnancy. And then there's estrone, which is the only estrogen that the body makes after menopause in women. And the ovaries, which produce a woman's eggs, are the main source of estrogen for your body. However, estrogen can also be produced in fat tissue as well as by your adrenal glands. And so that's why as people gain weight in their body, and men included, the body can produce more estrogen. And in men, it can start to show up looking like they have breasts, which obviously they don't want. And so that's something to think about, that you can test for your estrogen levels. And if you feel like maybe my estrogen levels are too high, you want to be addressing that, you can test for it in order to see where your levels are at and then understand how to counter that. In women, it's very common as we age, our estrogen levels go down. But at the same time, in today's world, because of high stress and high toxic loads on the body, our estrogen levels can end up being too high. And so that actually ends up being more common in women of childbearing age, that our levels are just simply too high. We can have estrogens made by the body, as I've mentioned, but we can also get estrogen from xenoestrogens. So that's made outside the body, and that's often we'll get xenoestrogens from plastics as well as skincare products that we put on our skin. We get estrogen from foods, and they can be very healthy foods, but if our body is already high in estrogen, then they may not be the best foods for you to be eating at a time when your body already has too much estrogen. So these are all things to be aware of. So signs of high estrogen are things like mood swings, anxiety, irritability, nervousness, feelings of overwhelm, tender or fibrocystic breasts, as well as changes to the menstrual cycle, possible blood sugar issues, possible bloating, as well as weight gain around the hips. So if that's you, you might want to look into having your estrogen levels tested. Low estrogen, which is less common simply because of the toxic, stressed out world that we live in, symptoms of low estrogen are more likely to happen as women are going through menopause and as the body is, slowly starting to reduce the amount of estrogen production. Those symptoms can be things like hot flashes, night sweats, vaginal dryness, brain fog, memory issues, poor recall. Again, remember, it's impacting the brain as well when it comes to estrogen, and it supports the brain, as well as hair loss or thinning, low libido, feelings of depression, sleep issues, again, abnormal periods, and PMS. So if this is you and this is something that you would like to know more about, please reach out, because this is a lab test that I've personally used myself for a number of years, as I have also been working to rebalance my hormones. They've been changing throughout our entire life. When I was younger, I was getting migraines and I needed to rebalance my hormones to resolve that. Then I went through menopause and I wanted to rebalance my hormones so that I wasn't dealing with these negative symptoms that I didn't feel like having to struggle with. So if you'd like to know more, reach out, melissa@yourguidedhealthjourney.com, and I would be happy to share with you the process of rebalancing your hormones.